this time around. They're the Fortune 500 companies. They're good companies. By the way, I come from the corporate capital of the world, Delaware. More corporations are incorporated in the state of Delaware than every other state in America combined. I got elected 36 years worth out of that. So I'm not anti-corporation, but I think everybody should take a fair shot, pay a fair share. Now look, here's the deal. Reason why I was able to lower the deficit and still expand programs like healthcare was there were 55 corporations in 2020 when I came to office who made $40 billion and didn't pay a single penny in tax, not one penny. Well, guess what? I did a terrible thing. I got passed overwhelmingly with just my team's vote. I got passed a 15% tax. My God, 15%. Raise your hand if you'd accept a 15% tax. No, I'm not joking. Well, it raised enough money to allow me to do the things I've been able to do. 15% minimum tax. Like I said, $40 billion in profit. That's just 55 corporations. We're paying zero. As for my mega Republican friends, they say they want to reduce the deficit. We did the math. Based on what we know so far, they could change their minds. Their plans would explode the deficit, increasing it more than $3 trillion over the next 10 years. Because they want to do, they want to cut taxes for the very wealthy, again. They want to cut taxes for large corporations. They want to take back the power we just gave Medicare and Medicaid to negotiate, which would raise prices. And they would have a huge giveaway to Big Pharma and cost taxpayers billions of dollars. And if they say they want to cut the deficit, but their plans actually would explode the deficit, how are they going to make the numbers add up? What are they going to cut? That's the big question. For millions of Americans, health care hangs in the balance. Will they continue to fight to cut the Affordable Care Act and make health insurance more expensive for millions of Americans? Republicans have been trying to undo the Affordable Care Act since it passed 13 years ago. They voted to change or repeal the act, it's a fact, it's on the record, more than 50 times in 4 years that it existed. 50 times. And they made repealing it part of virtually every Republican budget since the law was passed, from the Trump administration budgets to congressional budgets to their budget plans for just this past year.
Hello, friends. I have important news to share with you this Tuesday. New payments will be made tomorrow. The Social Security Administration has confirmed the arrival of the first batch of March checks for millions of Americans. Many economists are now warning of drastic changes that may be made to prevent a recession this year. Friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, I will be giving away 2 $75 Walmart gift cards this coming Friday. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My dear friends, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances, friends, of winning the giveaways. The Social Security Administration will be sending out the next batch of payments to eligible recipients tomorrow. But right now, Republicans in the Minnesota legislature are pushing for $13 billion in tax cuts and one-time direct payments, including rebate checks of up to $2,500 to state residents, and also eliminating the Social Security income tax. The Minnesota State's House and Senate Republicans announced today that their Give It Back tax plan, following this week's report that Minnesota has more than $17 billion of a budget surplus, which has remained stable. Besides rebates and ending taxes on Social Security payments, the plan also includes ongoing tax cuts for certain tax tiers. Senator Mark Johnson told reporters at a Capitol News conference, "Minnesota state government is fully funded. We have got an obligation to make sure the essentials are covered, and we are committed to doing that. we have got $17.5 billion in surplus. That belongs to residents of Minnesota. The Republican plan includes a version of direct payments to residents of Minnesota, which has also been supported by Governor Tim Walz. $5 billion total in checks of $1,250 for single individuals and $2,500 for couples. There would also be a one-time child tax credit available for 2 years at a total cost of $3.5 billion, which would provide an $1,800 tax credit per child under the age of 18. There's also an adjustment to the homestead market value exclusion, which would provide $35 million a year in cuts to property taxes. A proposed Social Security tax cut would also provide an average of $1,277 in tax relief to about 500,000 Minnesotans. So friends, do you think that this proposal is a good idea? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Economists cannot seem to agree on what the future of the United States economy is going to look like. Either we face a hard landing, where rising interest rates push the U.S. into a recession, or a soft landing, where the Federal Reserve and policymakers can bring down inflation without crashing the U.S. economy. The soft landing scenario is one that policymakers would like to see the most. It would mean the United States brought down inflation while ensuring a strong labor market. The level of optimism about a soft landing was always wavering. In the last month, it even briefly seemed realistic, until a series of data revisions and new numbers brought a revival of pessimism. The Commerce Department said on Friday that the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, which is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation, had climbed 5.4% in January, suggesting that inflation is not slowing down as much as they previously thought. Overall, soft landing is still possible, but pulling it off will depend on a lot of factors, and the consequences of failing are severe. To be clear, there is no evidence that the United States is in a recession now, or that it was in a recession in 2022. Unemployment is continuing to drop, while overall growth remains robust. That's the opposite of how economists normally characterize a recession. So dear friends, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that the United States will face a recession? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The high cost of groceries hits fixed and low-income families especially hard. For those receiving Social Security, the 8.7% cost of living adjustment that took effect in January 2023 still leaves beneficiaries with relatively less income for groceries compared to a year ago, even with the COLA. The United States Department of Agriculture's Economic Research Service projected that food prices will grow more slowly in 2023 than they did in 2022, although prices for everything remain above historical averages. Food at home prices are predicted to rise 8% this year. And because of inflation, many food banks have already been experiencing a strain. The Greater Chicago Food Depositories Network served 24% more guests this January than they did 1 year ago. More working or middle-class families who wouldn't have frequented food banks before are now newly dependent on them to supplement their grocery store trips, where their budget does not stretch so far. In preparation for the SNAP rollback, food banks throughout our country have been trying to spread awareness to SNAP participants, like informing people to report changes to their financial situation, which can affect their benefits when they renew them. Well, my amazing and most awesome friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Tuesday. Thank you, friends, for joining me here every single day and for being part of this community. My friends, I will be announcing 2 winners this Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. My friends, if you'd like to enter the giveaway, simply click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My dear friends, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you, friends, and have a wonderful and very blessed Tuesday.